bottle of Sprite to start the day. Just because my throat feels a little itchy and scratchy. Probably because of allergies today. And hello there everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It is the DOUG here, and we are back for more videos after the way this week's gone, the last week has gone, give or take. Of course, we are back with Tales from the Underrealm, aka anime boobies, anime boobies. Of course, congratulations to Dave for knowing which 3 games I actually want that come out for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 for Plus next week. Congratulations to him. And hope my buddy Billy's doing okay as well. Because I know he's having a rough time, so Billy, my prayers are with you, brother. Hope you're doing alright. But let's get going back to this wonderful game. Tori stops short and loses her composure upon hearing the suggestion in Hazel's voice. This time you could lap mop the blood with your tongue, and maybe then I'll let out the sweetest moan you've ever heard. Enough. Tori's face is completely flushed, and it's clear as day that she's all worked up. Hazel knows a thing or two about seduction. You could lick me wherever you want. I am your prisoner, after all. You could do anything you wanted with me, couldn't you? Guards? What? Put the prisoner in the hole. We'll see if she thinks she's funny after a few days down there. The hole? What is that? It doesn't sound like a nice place to me. No, probably not. You're right about that, Hazel. The hole is exactly what it sounds like. A hole dug like a well inside that prison. You can barely move in it. The very act of breathing is hard, and there's no light at all the whole time you're there. I might have enjoyed the place myself, but I'm not a human. For your kind, it's an excruciating punishment. A few days down there would break just about anyone. When Hazel's finally brought back to her former cage, Sasha stirs from her slumber. Hazel, it's you. Oh my God, I thought they killed you. How do you feel? What happened? Let's say that it could have gone better. Hazel briefly explains what happened, but is careful not to go into too much in detail. She mentions that Tori lost her patience and decided to punish her by throwing her in the hole. That Tori. Maybe she's not much better than the witch hunters after all, huh? I don't know. There's something strange about her. I don't know what it is yet, though. Hazel, are you awake? Yes. It's still early in the morning, but neither of the young women feel like going back to sleep. They expect Tori to barge in again at any moment, just like the day before. So trying to get some more rest seems pointless right now. Thus, Sasha chooses to spend the time making conversation. So, do you maybe want to tell me what really happened with Tori? I mean, you were pretty vague on the details about what happened between the two of you. That's because there's really not much to say. I didn't talk and she got angry. That's it. Okay. But did you at least try to study her or something? Get some kind of clue about her that might help us down the line? Something that could help us? Like what? What's going to help us right now? My magic isn't working, and even if you had a weapon, she'll beat you without breaking a sweat. Trust me, there's no way out of here. There is. It's her. If I wasn't sure that you didn't have access to any alcohol right now, I'd think that you were drunk. Well, it's not 5 o'clock yet. I'm not crazy. Just listen for a second. We need to befriend her. Gain her trust. She is different, like you said. I mean, she actually covered for me after I killed that guard. That is true. That definitely surprised me. Tori doesn't play by the rules. She makes her own. And someone, despite that, she seems to have forced support from Grimoire. Do you understand what that means? As long as we can convince her to help us, we've won. Hazel shakes her head at the thought. While she can appreciate Sasha's enthusiasm, she has her doubts. Alright, let's theoretically say I'm in. What are we trying to convince her of? And please don't say our innocence. She won't believe that. Well, duh, I'm not that delusional. I know Tori isn't stupid. I really do think she can be persuaded, though. And hey, as long as I'm not getting executed or spending the rest of my life locked up down here, I'll be happy with whatever we can get out of her. I'd be a little pickier than that if I were you, but I get the sentiment. Some form of victory would be nice. Yes, victory. As long as we can get out of this place, we'll eventually find our way to freedom. The world outside is ripe with opportunities for us to take. I might be able to use my magic again on the outside if I could do that. Then they would see who they were dealing with. Good, if that's the spirit, Hazel. I can see the fire in your eyes. We just need to get out of this place alive. I know that's not going to be easy with all these annoying solid stone walls and that tiny window up there no one can actually reach it, and the tall, strong pattern standing in our way. Hee, turning the conversation back towards Toy, I see. Does somebody have a little crush? No, that's... Hey, I'm not judging. Toy's pretty gorgeous. I'm sure below all that shiny armor, she's wearing some fine muscles. I've always loved muscular women, and men too, of course. Hazel flexes on the fact that Sasha admitted to liking women for a moment, before remembering to be outraged. Sasha, look, all I meant was that... Come on, Hazel, it's pretty obvious that you like women. I had to be blind to not notice the way you look at me and Toy. Enough already. Sasha runs her fingers along the hem of her clothes, curls them under, and lifts, attracting Hazel's attention immediately. She doesn't raise her clothes high enough for Hazel to peek at anything, though. Just kidding. Hazel groans and covers her face. Why are you doing this to me? I got to entertain myself in this place somehow. But seriously, Hazel, you like women, so what? I do too, and I'll pat her in a friend. She's definitely found an order of lesbians. I'm telling you, they worship at the vagina temple and spend all day praying with... Ouch. Hazel had thrown her bow at Sasha's face to keep her from saying anything else. It was a little too late, however, as Tori had clearly overheard the mega part of what Sasha had said. Sasha's eyes widen as Tori peels in front of her cage. Oh, shit. You really believe what you just said? No, not at all. I was just kidding, Hazel. Look a little down, and I thought a bit of humor might lighten her mood. You know I was joking, right, Hazel? Shut up. Hazel looks at Sasha with a worried expression on her face and then shifts her attention to Tori. The pattern waves over two guards who come down the stairs and stand at her side. Open the cages. And again, these guards obey without a word. She really put them in line. Commanding people seems to be second nature to her. Perhaps you can be the first one to show her how fickle power can be, Hazel. I'll be rooting for you to get your chance. Please don't hurt me. Last time I had a headache for hours. And yet you dare to say those lewd things about me. And my order. Toy steps over to Sasha and puts a hand in her throat. She then lifts the assassin into the air with the same hand. Sasha isn't heavy, but it's still quite a feat of strength. I'm sorry, please. Tears are flowing from Sasha's eyes, and Hazel panics. Unsure what to do, she could try saying something, but would that just make the situation worse? So we can say let her go or stay silent. I'm going to say let her go, let her go. She's got nice titties, so let her go. Please stop. She didn't mean to offend you. She just says dumb things. And what's so offensive about it anyway? If you like women, you like women. There's nothing to be ashamed of. That is not the issue. It's the language she used to say it. How else am I supposed to take my order being compared to a vagina temple? Yes, that was a bit too much, but maybe it's not the insult you think it is. Ego is the goddess of truth, yes, but she's also a symbol of woman infertility. Her legend talks about how her unborn son gave her strength to fight. So in a way, maybe it could be considered a compliment? Tori drops Sasha to the ground. Sasha coughs heavily, but seems to be alright otherwise. Tori moves towards Hazel, smile softened than her usual one on her face. Hazel actually feels somewhat reassured by it. It wasn't said as a combat, but you ain't completely wrong. You're a woman full of surprises, Hazel. I thought you didn't believe in any god. I wouldn't say I believe them, but I've read about them. I mean, how can you decide if you don't believe in something if you don't actually know any of the details? I can respect that. Trey moves away and crosses her arms. She looks in Hazel's direction first and then in Sasha's. After taking a moment to think, she finally speaks up. From now on, you'll share the same cage. Luckily for you, they're big enough for two. Huh? Why now? I mean, I like the idea, but I didn't expect any act of kindness from you right now. Tori shifts uneasy as she was just caught doing something she shouldn't be doing. When I get closer, I notice your head injury, and it's getting worse. You need someone to tend to the wound, and I'm not going to waste any of my people on the likes of you. Oh, Tori, you want to keep your image of a cold-hearted paladin so badly, don't you? I suppose you need to in your position now. Even so, you actually feel bad about what you did. How surprisingly. Sasha attacked you, and you should be upset if she died on your watch. I wonder why. Since it'd be hard to keep it clean and bandage it yourself, the job falls to Hazel. That is the only reason why I'm allowing you to stay in the same cage for the time being. Sure. Hazel nods and grabs Sasha by the shoulder, pulling her inside the cage in a protective way. Tori then tosses some bandages and ointments into the cage so that Hazel can tend to Sasha's injuries. When she finished, you'll come with me. Yes. What are you waiting for? Oh, sorry, I'll get right to it. Hazel had assumed that Tori would walk out of the room. Instead, she remained there, standing with her arms crossed and looking at them. It was odd since Hazel got the feeling that it was done because Tori wanted to make sure that Sasha got properly treated. Thank you, Hazel. Hazel nods, but doesn't say anything in response. Her slender hands are already at work. As a witch, she is familiar with alchemy and curing all sorts of injuries. Sasha's wound looked serious, but it was nothing life-threatening. Something occurred to her, though, as Hazel felt Sasha's hair under her fingers. Despite staying in a place like this, Sasha didn't smell bad or anything. Her hair was soft and pleasant to the touch. Let's see, it was suspicious or it was nice? We'll go with nice. Coming through Sasha's hair felt nice. It gave her a sense of peace she hadn't had since she woke up in this dark and dreary place. Sasha was attractive too, and even if the situation wasn't anything but romantic, Hazel didn't mind stumbling into this sudden moment of intimacy at all. Up close like this, Hazel could get a better sense of Sasha's slender-built body and smooth curves. She wasn't tall and muscular like Tori, but there was no denying that she was just as sexy. It was just in a different way. If Hazel had to say which she preferred... Ow! Distracted by her thoughts, Hazel ended up agitating Sasha's injury. Sasha retracted by grabbing Hazel's hand to stop. The moment their hands met, however, Hazel blushed and Sasha's gaze fixed on her. She started unable to tear her eyes away. Oh, isn't that sweet? For several seconds, it was like they had fallen into a sort of trance. Sorry, I was distracted. That's enough. Come with me. Toya bluntly interrupts them and then has the guards carry Hazel back to the previous torture room. Also known as the sex dungeon. This time Troy makes Hazel wait alone in the torture room for some time. Well, not completely alone. The guards are here, of course, still standing near the door and blocking the only way out. As crazy as it sounds, Hazel was hoping that Troy would be back soon. She felt safer with her than any of the other guards. They may have technically been less dangerous than Troy, but there was an unknown factor to them that she didn't trust. Hazel couldn't say she knew Troy all that well either, but she did know that Troy wasn't unreasonable. Yes, could be quick to anger, but if Hazel treaded carefully, she knew she could avoid the worst of her wrath. More time passed before Tori finally arrived in a rushed pace, as she was in a hurry. So, Woooooooooo, oh yes, did you enjoy your stay in the hole? No, I didn't. Good. You'll be more cooperative this time then. I am not sure. What? You're asking me to betray my friends. No, my sisters. And why would I care all about that? Hazel couldn't help but notice how much colder Tori's voice was compared to the last time. Perhaps she realized that she's been too loose with her words previously and wanted to maintain a proper distance from what was, in the end, just a prisoner. Ask you one last time. Give me something I can use to bargain next time I meet them. Wait a minute, are you going to Gilmore? Tori individually gave Hazel an inappropriate piece of information. If Hazel was right in assuming that them referred to the Council of Gilmore, that would give her a better sense of where the prison was located. After all, if Tori had to travel there, Hazel would conclude that they weren't particularly close to Gilmore. Hazel would only be able to make even more deductions based on how long Tori was away. I never mentioned traveling to Gilmore. Really? How are you going to talk with the council if you don't go there in person? I could be meeting with some envoys from the council on a short walk from this prison for all you know. So we can say, I beat your young game of wits, you're not fooling me, Gilmore would never send out an envoy over a simple negotiation, or look at you, you're so cute when you're embarrassed. We'll go with romance. Look at you, you're so cute when you're embarrassed. I am not embarrassed. Oh, the tone of your voice betrays you, my dear. You're clearly upset that you slipped up and gave me such an interesting tidbit of information. Alright, I suppose it's only fair that I give you something juicy, too. Hazel's mouth curves into a wicked smile. Sex with a witch is something that people don't forget easily. Did you know that? Because I'm betting that you didn't. Tori evades her gaze, unable to find the strength to meet Hazel's eyes. She isn't used to being teased like this. Enough. Tori slams her fist violently on the wooden table nearby, and for a moment Hazel thinks that the table is about to break into two from the violence of the blow. Speaking of that, the Carolina Panthers are the only ones without a primetime game, which is hilarious. Easy, calm down. Listen to me, you annoying little girl. I will now walk slowly out of this room. If you don't stop me by saying something useful, I will let the guards in and tell them that they can do whatever they want with you to make you talk. You would never do that. Oh, really? Try me. Tori starts walking slowly towards the exit. She hopes with all her heart that Hazel will say something, because if Hazel doesn't, Tori will be forced to make good on her words that she instantly regretted saying the moment they came out of her mouth. She can't back down now, though. She'll lose all power over Hazel if she turned out she'd be bluffing, so Tori silently prays to Ujo that some truth, any truth, comes out of the pretty witch. Alright, stop. Tori keeps moving towards the exit. Hazel can't see her face, but there is a relieved smile on it. Achaga. Tori finally steps and turns back towards Hazel. Yes, you know her? No, I've never met her. She moved to Lakota Islands many years ago, way before I joined the other witches. Go on. That's all. We lost track of her. We don't know what happened. She disappeared. And this is useful information how? Well, she was a very powerful witch, so we took advantage of that and made everyone believe that Argentine was still living in the unforgiving swamps. It kept people away, even though it wasn't true. But several guards have seen her. I've read their reports. What they saw was me using a magic illusion. So every time they thought they saw her, it was just me, the little witch apprentice. If what you say is true, you're directly responsible for many treacherous acts, murder even. You killed so many of our guards. It's not that simple. We were hunted down, we were endangered, and I would do anything to protect the people I love. Tori bared her hands to her fist, doing nothing to hide her anger. Hazel was certain she'd be hit again, this time with all of pattern and significant might. It was very possible that this was the end for her. Hazel closed her eyes and a small tear dropped from them. She thought of all the people she loved, especially the ones that had fallen under the forces of the former human empire. Uh-oh. Instead of hitting Hazel, Tori puts a hand on one of her shoulders and squeezes it. It wasn't a particularly affectionate act, but it wasn't rude or aggressive either. It was firm, and it did grant Hazel some sense of comfort in that troubled moment. Thank you for telling me this. I can use this to help you. A guard enters the room, interrupting their conversation. He has some important information for Tori. They're here. Good, I'll come in a minute. Take the prisoner back to her cell. Put her together with the other one in the same cage. Yes, madam. Hazel was tired. She hadn't gone into sleep much in the last few days, and the food wasn't exactly top-notch in this place. As soon as she enters the cage where Sasha is waiting for her, she collapses on the ground. The guards who carried her there let out a big laugh. Fuck you, go away. The venom in Sasha's eyes is enough to remind the guards of the one she killed. They quickly and nervously back away. Leave my friend alone. Hazel is barely able to speak. Her words are so feeble that it triggers another round of chuckles among the guards as they leave the room. Tch, assholes. Sasha goes to Hazel and helps her to improvise bed made by the hay inside the cage. There she lies down and puts Hazel to her, cuddling the witch in her arms. Hey, Sasha smiles warmly. Hey, pretty girl. We're really friends now. You're my only friend now. I suppose you don't have a lot of options in here, huh? I am happy, though. Not about you having only one friend, of course. You should have more. I'm just happy that I'm your friend, you know? Oh. Sasha gives Hazel a quick kiss. It's an innocent kiss, but Hazel shivers upon feeling Sasha's smooth and voluptuous lips on her cheek. Hazel responds by snuggling up against Sasha. How did it go with Tori, by the way? I'm glad you came back in one piece. I got word when I heard screams and some other loud noises all the way over here. Hee yeah. Sasha frowns, a little concerned by Sasha's reaction. She couldn't be sure if Hazel was laughing just because she was tired or because Tori had broken her. Well, I'm not in the hole this time, so I'd say it went better, don't you think? What did you tell her? Just some information, so that she could brag about it when the envoy from Gilmore arrives. Maybe they're already here. What? Are you sure? No, it's just a guess at this point. But I know something important arrived since she stopped her interrogation to go meet them. Ah, makes sense. The guards all woke up earlier too. I could hear what it was all about, but an important visitor would explain the behavior. I need to sleep now. Sure, I'll be quiet, don't worry. No, I meant that I need to get in my bed and oi. Yeah, there's a little problem with that. Your bed, if it would be incredibly generous and actually calling it that, is in the other cage. A small detail that got overlooked when we were put together. But don't worry, you can sleep like this. I don't mind. You sure? Of course I'm sure. What good is having a fun if you can't rest your head on their elbow bosom from time to time? You are such a perv. Don't pretend you ain't thrilled. I guess you're pretty soft. Sasha giggles and Hazel can feel her body ripple underneath her. You are so cute. Sasha caresses Hazel's face and hair slowly. It's tender and warm, a direct contrast to this cold, hard place. Nothing like Sprite to start the day. When Hazel closes her eyes, she can almost forget where she is. She pretends that she is somewhere else, taking a nap under a sturdy tree in a nice grassy field with Sasha, far, far away from here. And we got a trophy. Sweet dreams are made of these. Oh, isn't that cute? She dozes off shortly after when she finally wakes up, though in a different position than before. Instead of Hazel's head resting on Sasha's chest, Sasha has her face buried between Hazel's breast. It looks so ridiculous that Hazel can't help but laugh at the goofy grin planted on Sasha's face. She pokes at Sasha's face playfully. What fun things are you dreaming about? Mine. Sasha groups one of Hazel's breasts in her sleep. Sasha, that's... Did you just bite me? Sasha bolt right up, waking in response to Hazel's shout. I'm up, what happened? Hazel giggles. Sasha's hair is a bit messed up, so Hazel reaches over and tucks the straight hair out of her hair properly, or away properly. What in Avon were you dreaming about? Oh, that I can't tell you. But I guess I can say that it was one of the nicest dreams I've had since I've been here. Let's see, how long have you been here exactly? Oh, really? Tell me more about... Yeah, we're going to go tell me more about these dreams. Aha, you might be disappointed. Disappointed? How? I was dreaming about a man, an elf. Oh. Hazel found that she was a bit disappointed to hear that. She hoped Sasha had been dreaming about her. I loved him. Now Hazel was blushing, staying in Sasha's arms while she dreamed about a man she loved. Was it okay to think that she somehow reminded Sasha of that love, that her feelings towards both of them had something in common? He told me everything I know. Without him, I would died a long time ago. He saved you. From what exactly? I was born poor. I didn't have any family left or a place to call home. I just wandered the streets, starving and wondering when my body would finally give out. But then he found me. He gave me food and a roof over my head. Hazel's eyes narrowed suspiciously. You felt obligated to give him something in exchange? No, it wasn't like that. It was love at first sight then. You don't understand. He didn't do anything with any ulterior motives. He just really wanted to help. To give me a place in the world, so I became an assassin like him. That isn't a particularly charming love story, and so we started killing other people together. Oh, fuck you. Hazel's eyes suddenly focused on Sasha's hands, fixated on them curiously. Why are you looking at my hands like that? It's nothing. Come on. It's just that I still can't believe that such a beautiful hands did what they did. I mean, I know they've done so much, but the god is the only one I've witnessed. I already told you he deserved it. I'm not saying that he didn't. It's still shocking though. Surely you can understand that. Sasha stands up and positions herself so that her face is just a few inches away from Hazel's. She then puts a hand gently on the back of Hazel's head and starts massaging it in an attempt to calm her down. Hazel, you have nothing to worry about. I'll never hurt you. Good, because I was starting to like you. Oh, just starting? I've liked you since you first entered this room. Huh? Really? Yep. I thought finally someone cute like me. Turns out we have so many things in common that I don't even bother considering our exterior similarities anymore. Think about it. We're both rejects of society, menaces to the established order. That much is pretty obvious, right? Just look at you and your witch words. You need to seek refuge in one of the most unhospitable places in Evermore. Hey, there's something too bad as long as you keep yourself dry. Please, I passed through them a few times on a couple of my jobs. I couldn't wait to leave that place. And I'm sure you were living in a castle instead. No, I wasn't. That's exactly the point. I lived on the streets for most of my life. Even after I finished my training and went off on my own, I ended up staying in the darkest slums of each city I visited. Hold on, you left? I thought you said that you loved him. Why did you split? He did it to protect me. It's a long story. Maybe one day I'll tell you. Anyway, as I was saying, you need to accept the truth. We have a lot of things in common. We're both creatures of the night, living in shadows, alone against the authorities. I never killed someone for money. That's what assassins do, right? I'm not judging you, Sasha. I've done many things I'm not proud of either. Sometimes I didn't have a choice. But what you used to do... It's not how you think it is, Hazel. I pick my jobs. The only people I kill are the ones who deserve it. But it's never as simple as killing a good guy or killing a bad guy. The world is complex, Hazel. You know that. For example, I once got this job offer to kill one of the most famous noblemen in Horus. Famous noblemen in Horus? Wait. Don't tell me that it was you behind the... Is the fourth assassination. It was, but before you jump to any conclusions, let me explain my reasoning for taking the job. The man wasn't what you would normally consider a bad person. He had a wife, to whom he was loyal, and a family, 2 kids. He was renowned as a traitor and a politician. And you kill a man like that? Let me finish. He didn't do anything bad himself, but he was supporting the wrong cause. He wanted to introduce a new tax on the local rice and flour. See, he owed money to another nobleman in Gilmore and couldn't repay his debts. His solution to that problem was to destroy the local production of those 2 goods so that he could sell his own goods at a higher price than usual. You know, by making them rarer. To do that, he actively pushed the government to pass the tax laws that would allow him to do that. He even stooped to some underhanded methods like bribery to do that. If the laws had passed, he'd be able to make enough money to get rid of his debt, but it would have also driven thousands of peasants to famine in the process. I took the job because I valued those lives over his. And you think the only solution was killing him? No, but I do think it was the most effective. With him out of the picture, the other nobles didn't have any personal interest in the law, so it didn't pass. I can understand that. I think I get what you're trying to say. Less extreme measures would have just resulted in more chaos and death. One man's life wasn't worth that. Exactly. In an ideal world, that wouldn't be the case, but that's not how things work. In situations like this one, the good of the many outweigh the good of the few. I guess that's true. It's not like he was completely innocent. He did try to take advantage of the situation and power to determine of others. It was his own actions that led to his death. That's how I see it. I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from. Me too. I feel a lot better knowing you don't kill people just for money. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to sleep. Sasha lets out a long sigh. Sleep well, Hazel. I have a bad feeling about what's going to happen over the next few days. Hazel stands at the center of the torture room as Tori walks in and circles around her. Hazel notes that she seems nervous today. What? Are you going to tell me what happened? Yesterday we were interrupted. The people I met with from Gilmore. Who were they? Doesn't matter who they were. All you need to know is that they are in control of your fate. I thought you were the boss here. I am. I'm deciding everything that happens inside these walls, but... Tori pauses. At that moment she sighs and shakes her head, then looks at Hazel with a sad expression. I am sorry. I told him what you confessed about you being injured. It didn't have the desired effect. Instead of seeing that you as cooperating, they said that your crime should be punished by death. What? So this is what I get for being honest with you? Was this your plan from the start? Don't be silly. And what exactly did he think would happen anyway? That you receive a medal for what you did? You used me. You gained my trust and got me to open up to you, or to impress your superiors. And now that you have what you wanted, I'm no use to you anymore. That depends on you. How? You managed to convince him to not execute you. Huh? We both know that you have more to offer. Give us that information and you will live. I'll give you my word that I will make that happen. Hazel can tell Tori is serious. Even if she couldn't depend on her gut instinct, Hazel knew that for someone of the Order of Israel, an oath is scared. Tori would never betray her word. Even so, Hazel didn't want to betray her fellow witches more than she's already had. That previous scrap of information was the only thing she had to give Tori that didn't directly hurt her sisters. And if I refuse, your pretty little head will be cut from your pretty little body. As Tori said those words, she moved closer to Hazel and gently stroked her cheeks. Her tone wasn't gleeful, it was sad, still like the smile on her face. Let's see. Before my head was attached to my body, Tori, please, you can't let this happen. Who would be my executioner, you or let's go with the romance. It's the same. I have the same feelings. What are you saying? I can't explain how or why, but I like you too. Oh. It's ridiculous, right? I know that you could very easily be the one that ends up killing me, but every time I see your face, I'm just happy to see it. Tori doesn't reply. Instead, she starts walking towards the door, only to be stopped by a guard that suddenly shows up in front of her. We're here to bring the witch to the arcane wizards. Arcane wizards? They must be the people from Gilmore. Oh, poor Hazel. They can't stand witches. To be honest, I think it's mostly jealousy. They can't conjure up magic as effectively as you witches do. Tell them to go back. But Tori places her hand over on the hilt of her sword and the guard gasps. That is an order. Sorry, but I don't understand. I should just tell them to go, because I'm very certain they won't exactly leave if I'm the one to tell them that. I'm not finished with the prisoner. Tell them that I have more precise information for them in the following days. Of course, if they'd rather execute the witch now and lose our chance to capture all the remaining ones, they can have Hazel. Oh, I understand, madam. I'll go tell them the news. Once the guard leaves, Hazel goes over to Tori. You protected me. Why? Better give me something real, or next time I won't be able to do anything. Thank you. Spontaneously, Hazel throws her arms around Tori, hugging her. The pendant's caught completely off guard, something very uncommon for her. Ha! Look at Tori's face. Good move, Hazel. Good move. What are you doing? Stop. Tori was telling Hazel to stop, but she wasn't exactly pushing her away. Something that she would have done without hesitation had it just been anyone else. Hazel was a witch. But even if this was an attempt to distract her, what could she easily do? Her magic was out of play, and if she tried grabbing a weapon, Tori was confident that she could beat Hazel in physical combat, with or without a weapon of her own. What was that why she was allowing this to happen? Hazel's eyes filled with tears, and eventually some of them dropped onto Tori's face. Oh, I'm sorry, let me... Tori slaps Hazel's hand away. At first, Hazel was shocked. Then in the corner of her eye, she noticed that the guards are coming into the room. That was the man to speak with you immediately. Very well, take the prisoner back to her cell now. Hazel didn't say anything. She just kept looking at Tori away until she's carried out by the sight of the guards. Tori keeps her own eyes focused on the ground, lost in her own thoughts. Tori really confused you, didn't she, Hazel? You couldn't understand why she was protecting you. Deep down, you hoped that it was because she liked you. But why wouldn't she? Don't tell me that you believe that her kindness didn't have an ulterior motive. No. There was something else behind it. Let's see, how long have we been streaming for right now? 35 minutes. Okay, we're going to keep on going. As soon as Hazel is back in the cage and the guards have gone, Sasha rushes over to her. What happened this time? Troy, she protected me again. Some awkward's from Gilmore were here. They wanted to execute me, but she bought me more time. She was going to try to convince them to let me live. How, though? I don't know much about awkward's, but I do know they ain't known for being reasonable. She's going to tell them that I have more useful information. I see, and do you? Lie or say yes? We're going to say yes. Yes, there are a lot of things I could tell them that might end up being helpful. Good. Hazel looks at Sasha in confusion. She seems to be a bit too enthusiastic about this. That sounded bad, didn't it? I just meant that it was good because you'll still be alive. Just tell them whatever you can. Not too much at all, or at once, of course. Just enough to keep them interested in what you might give them next. Oh, and maybe you could give them a few educated guesses. You were with your fellow watchers for a long time, so you could have some ideas of how they act when they're hunted, right? I might, but I won't give them anything like that. I don't want to help the Archwizards kill my friends. I get that, but they're going to kill you, Hazel. You need to give toys something to work with. Look, I heard the guards talking while you were away. One of them was sad because he desperately wanted to go back to Gilmore to be with his wife. The guy he was talking to said he was out of luck because this thing could take months. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Months. That means they'll learn to wait for results. There's no rush as long as you keep stringing them along. You just need to gradually give up little tiny pieces of information. You have no sense of honor. What? You tell me what to do in my place, but I'm not like you. I won't betray my sisters like that. My life is not worth all of theirs. I'm sorry, I guess you had a better life than me. I can't understand that kind of loyalty. Of course not. You're a liar and an opportunist. You know what? Yes, Hazel, I am. And that's the only reason I'm still alive after all these years. Hazel wasn't sure why Sasha was talking like that, as if she had lived a particularly long life. She didn't look that old. Hazel had actually guessed that she's been a few years younger than herself. But you're assuming that Sasha is human, Hazel. That's where you went wrong. That's nothing to be proud of. I was like you once before I met Reens. Who's Rees? An elf assassin who helped me in my darkest moment. You met the one from the dream. Yes, that one. What does this story have to do with you? Once he taught me everything he knew, we got close. I really thought I found my place in life. Crazy, right? I was happy to be an assassin and live alongside him. Yeah, that's not very romantic. Not in a normal way, no. But there was something compelling about it. In a grotesque way. Like we were falling in darkness together and we didn't care where we ended up as long as we were together. Besides, not like we were killing people every day. One of the advantages of being with a famous assassin like Reens was that we got to choose our jobs. They all had paying ones too. One well-done job and we could live off the award for money for months. People verify us, but we kill way less than people than a single soldier does in war. The prison guards just doing their duty probably have a high kill counts than us. Isn't that hypocritical? That is an interesting interesting take, but if things were so great, why aren't you still with him? Because he betrayed me. We had to assassin a half-demon, but things went awry. A half-demon, huh? An easy target? Spare me your sarcasm. I know we underestimated it. We just thought that if we caught him by surprise, he would die like everyone else. Let me guess, the person who hired you was some kind of bigot who hated demons, right? The same kind of person who hunts witches because all witches are evil? No, I thought I made it clear that I don't take jobs like that. The man behind the contract hired us because the half-demon had killed his daughter. Oh, I see. So revenge was the motive. That's what he made us believe. As I said before, we're assassins, but that doesn't mean we're ruthless. We picked all of our jobs carefully, but... Sasha's gaze lowers to the ground and Hazel immediately notices her eyes are watery. He betrayed me. We were the two best assassins in the whole area, and each of us was worth a fortune. I can't believe it. He sold you out? There was no half-demon to kill. It was all a trap. Ramsey took the money, a lot of money, more than you could spend in a lifetime, even as an elf. Then he left me to Gilmore's soldiers. They captured me. I'm sorry, Sasha. Sasha shrugs. But you know what? You know what the hardest thing for me to remember is? What hurts me the most to this day? His eyes. That look when I realized I was hopeless and he just looked at me as if I wasn't worth anything to him anymore. Oh, that sucks. Well, that explains why she's always on the defense. That's why you act the way you do. Huh? What do you mean? You're always on the defensive. You asked all these questions before anyone else can, so they don't notice that you're actually saying anything about yourself. I really do that? You do. Don't worry about it, though. It's okay. I'm just glad I managed to learn a bit more about you today. Da-da-da. Sasha smiles at Hazel, who pulls her closer. The two of them sit down at the back of their cage and cling to each other. No one had any more words to add. Things were good just like that. They were just two people warming up to each other, warming up their bodies and their souls. Adrenaline in my soul. I still haven't made up my mind about that one, Hazel. Tori obviously has a problem. She's a hothead for one, but she seems honest, though. Sasha, though, I don't know. The following day, it's the same routine. Guards come to pick up Hazel and bring her in the torture room. Tori shows up, demanding answers. Hazel has no intention of giving them to her. What did the Arc Wizard say? I'm the one asking the questions here. I know, but please, it might help me understand what they want. What they want to know everything about the witches, the few of you left anyway. Upon hearing those words, Hazel smiles violently. A few witches left. There were more than a few. They plan to scatter throughout Avon and lay low for a few as seem to be working. Why are you smiling? You need to be more careful, Hazel. That pattern doesn't take her eyes off you. Speak. I don't think Tori knows how to admit feelings. I'm sorry. It must not be easy, right, to confess to yourself that you have feelings for the witch you're supposed to make talk. I have no such feelings for you. You are delusional. Oh, really? Hazel raises her gaze to meet Tori's. The pattern tries to maintain a determined stare, but it looks fake. Hazel can see she is getting somewhere. This one's just definitely stubborn. Tori resumes walking around the room. By now, Hazel's figured out that Tori does this when she's embarrassed in front of her. You don't understand. I did it because those idiots would have just killed you for political reasons. It would have been a waste. Well, I agree killing me would have been a waste, a big waste. You see how pretty I am. Tori groans and rubs her temples. What I mean is that now that you confess to the heinous acts you committed under the semblance of the main witch, you're sort of a trophy, someone to execute, maybe by burning you alive on Gilmore Square. Those Arc Witches would do anything to gain political conscience, and a witch burning is always good for that. Hazel gaps at those words. Being burned alive was a possibility every witch feared. But the way Tori wordy tone carried in her voice made Hazel even more nervous than she usually would be. But you wouldn't let that happen, right? Let's see. I beg you. I am vulnerable. I'm going to go, I beg you. Hazel drops to her knees in front of Tori, who's unsure of what to do about it. Hazel then grabs onto Tori's legs with her hands. Tori shivers at the contact of her naked skin. But she doesn't move away. She just looks down at Hazel with a red blush on her cheeks. Please, you care about me. I know you do. I knew it from the first time I saw you. It's just your imagination. I came here to do a job, and Hazel moves her head closer to Tori's leg and then slowly starts to kiss her way up it. Once again, Tori's caught by surprise, and once again, she doesn't push Hazel away. Your skin is so soft. What are you doing? If you don't like it, you can simply push me away. And I'm at your mercy, right? As your prisoner. After a few more seconds, Tori gently pushes Hazel away. Then she bends down to look her in the eyes. Your charming tricks don't work with me, witch. Hazel was fairly certain that was a lie, but then Tori walked around and added, I'll go speak at the Outland Docks for one more week. They should give it to me since they won't have the execution site set up before then anyway. They want to make your death a show, but after that... As the guards carry Hazel back to her prison, she can't stop herself from thinking about Tori's words. Hazel had been back in the cell for several hours now, and Sasha still hadn't tried to bombard her with her usual questions. It's a little strange, but Hazel appreciated it. Did you see the ostriches? Huh, no, of course not. What if it's all a trick to scare you? I know, Tori, I know the type of woman she is. She is strong, sure, but she's also manipulative. You sure? Of course I'm sure. Where do you think she got all that power from? Do you actually believe it's based on her talent? No one rises to the ranks that quickly in an organization without having any connections or being skilled at manipulation. I'm putting my money on the latter. You know, you might have a point. I do, which is why I don't believe that there are actually any ostriches. It's all bluff. Easy for you to say. I can't just dismiss the fact that they could be real. Do you know what they do to riches? They burn them alive. Oh, that doesn't sound nice. What are you going to do then? You should tell them something. I know. If there is a fire, we'll get some hot dogs and some hamburgers and some Hershey's chocolate bars and some marshmallows. Sorry, I'm hungry. Sasha looks generally surprised, and Hazel can't understand why. She didn't have a reason to care that much, right? I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think I still have tomorrow to figure it out, though. Sasha lays down next to Hazel. From their positions on the hay bed, they look up to the small window where sunlight shines through. Judging from the colors, it was probably sunset right now. Remember that if you want. I'm here to talk. I know. Thank you. Hee. I just said I'm here to talk, and you must be thinking, yeah, I noticed. I'm starting to get used to you, Sasha. Sasha pauses for a moment, keeping her eyes fixed on the window as she speaks. If you were free, what's the first thing that you do? I know what my answer would be. Hunt down rodents and kill them? Sasha laughs so hard that she ends up boiling over involuntarily. She's able to use her hand to stop herself, but not before she's closer than ever to Hazel. Sasha locks eyes with her and stares. No, Shelley, I think I'm done being an assassin. It's not for me. I want to change, start a new life. If I had magic, I'd turn you to a rat. I think you'd be a good bartender. People don't change, or you got nice hands. We'll go with the nice hands. Hazel looks at Sasha's hands on her shoulder. It's small, slender, and Hazel couldn't stop thinking about the things she could do with it. It didn't just have to be killing. In fact, maybe it could stop being that if Sasha genuinely wanted to change. She could use those thin and delicate fingers for gentle things. Kinder things. Yeah, I'm sure if Tazzik was on, he'd be like, what the fuck am I hearing? Love you, Tazzik. Oh, that's not the part of me people usually compliment first. I am sure of that. Like, they all say it's my face, but they're really looking at my tits, and I know they're big and soft, but my butt is nice too. It deserves some love. Would you stop? You're blushing. No, I'm not. Anyway, let's just drop this, alright? You were telling me something important, you know. What would you do once you got out of here? Well, I don't have any long-term plans like what I'll do for a living and what my goals I want to accomplish, but I'm going to go to the highest tree I can find and lie down in the grass. Oh, she's going to touch grass, okay. Then I'll stare at the sky and the clouds until the stars come out. You know, I think that was really dumb if it was still my first day locked up in here, but I get it. You've been here much longer than I have, and I pine for things like that too. Open spaces, grand horizons, the endless blue sky. Yeah, you get it. Staying in this place for so long, it kind of broke me. I forgot for a while, but you came and I started thinking about those kind of things again. I wanted, Hazel, to see the sky again. Count clouds, listen to the birds and the rustle of the wind in the trees. To feel fresh grass brush against my skin. They both close their eyes and imagine it. Hazel hopes that she's not here long enough to forget those sensations. How about you? What would you do? Me? I guess Hazel hesitates. She should tell the truth or lie. Telling Sasha what she wanted to do would reveal some sensitive information. Hazel set it on. I'm gonna lie because I just don't trust her yet. Probably just go back to the unforgiving swamps. Really? Of all places? I know, but that's still my home. Our home, you know? Yeah, I guess it still wouldn't be my first choice. Sasha looked Hazel in the eye, suddenly curious about something. At least that's the impression Hazel got. But I am not sure if we'll ever get out of here. Hazel's words become softer and softer as they continue talking. Both women are really tired, and without noticing, they both fall asleep next to each other. What a lovely picture. You two look like you could be sisters. If only Hazel knew what Sasha was really doing. Yes, I'm afraid I cheated and poked around a little. You'll probably find out for yourself, though, soon enough, Hazel. You, wake up! Sasha? Hold the assassin. Huh? What are you doing? Leave her alone. The two guards pinned Sasha's arms, immobilizing her. I'm not taking any chances with this one. I don't want to end up dead like... I'm not going to harm you. You never done anything bad to me. Sorry, but I don't believe that. What do you want? The usual. You need to follow us to the torture room. I'll come peacefully, as always. Just leave Sasha alone. Very well. We'll be waiting for you outside. Don't make us wait. Tori looked pretty upset this morning. I wouldn't mess with her right now. The guards release Sasha and back out of the cell. Hazel rushes to Sasha's side to make sure she's okay. Are you alright? I am. Hazel, listen to me. You really need to tell her something today. I have a bad feeling about this. I know. I've tried our patience long enough. Remember what I told you. Just give her something. Be vague if you can. Try to buy us time. And do not give up anything you have, everything you have, or you'll be useless to her. I'll think about it. I'm not sure. It's the right thing to do. She's different from the others for whatever reason. She wants to keep you alive. We only need to survive long enough to make a plan, and... Are you coming or not? Yes, I'm here. Hazel quickly goes to meet up with the guards. On their way to torture room, Hazel's mind is filled with thoughts. What was Sasha said really the right thing to do? What if Tori lost her patience? And became suspicious. Here you are, guards. Tie her. What? I'm done playing with you, witch. Alright, now, I'm not stopping yet, but... We're putting a save here because I do have to go back to get trophies later, so... Just make that quick save so at least when I go back for trophy hunting purposes when we get done, because we're just going to get one ending on this, like I've done with every other one. The guards bind Hazel's hands and then leave the room, find Tori's nod to them. Now Hazel's even more powerless than ever before, as if being deprived of her magic wasn't enough. This is it, huh? Are you finally going to torture me? No, not if you tell me what I want to know. Tori kept her gaze low, as if she was somehow afraid to meet Hazel's eyes. Do. Let's see, we're going to go with, I know that you are not a bad person. Flip back. Tori, I know that you're not a bad person. You know, you don't know anything. You don't know me. You don't know anything, me, Hazel. You're right, I don't know a lot about you, but I can feel it. Every time we meet, I feel something. Alright, real quick, because I actually messed up the save spot, because... And I only say that because of the fact of I kind of skipped a lot through the PS4 version. Yeah. I'm not going to touch you, but the guards are starting to become suspicious of my methods. If they see you still tied up when they come to take you back to your cell, they might change their minds. Why should I believe you? Look, since the day we first met, I have physically harmed you in any way. No way, I mean, there was the slap that you gave me. I am sorry I lost my patience because of what you said, but I shouldn't have. To be fair, I did kind of ask for it. So now please, tell me something useful. Something I can tell the Archwitches to stop them from burning you alive. Hazel knew this was it. The most important choice she'll make in her life. Give Tori some important information to gain her trust in the hope that she could protect her. Or follow Sasha's plan, try to buy time to come up with an escape plan with her, assuming that was even possible. We're going to trust Tori here. My kind has spread out over Envelope, but there's a large group of them in the Frontier Woods. Frontier Woods? Yes, I was traveling from there to the unforgiving swamps where I was supposed to stay as a decoy when you captured me. This is exactly the kind of information I was looking for. I'm sure I can convince the Archers to spare your life now. Tori smiles brightly. There's a sense of relief behind it. Oh, phew. Hold on, I'll untie you now. If you must, but I kinda liked it. Enough with your teasing. I am not interested in you. Sure, keep telling yourself that. Tori moved closer to untie Hazel, ended up a short distance away from her face, so you could feel Hazel's breath on her skin. Tori hesitates and looks back towards the front door where the guards are standing watch. Their backs are turned towards them, which meant that they were safe. No one was looking. Hazel briefly wonders why Tori is acting like that. Then she thinks she knows. She decides to take the risk and close the gap between them. Tori pulls away at the last minute, though, causing Hazel to kiss her cheek instead of her lips. What? She pushes Hazel away from her, but there was no anger in her movements, only surprise. Why did you move? It wasn't supposed to go like that. What in the Avon are you talking about? I wanted to kiss you ever since the first time I saw you. You're crazy. You want it too. Can't you just admit it already? No, you're imagining things. You're terrible at hiding this sort of thing, Tori. Hazel knows for sure that you're lying now. Still, I suppose I can understand why you're so reluctant. It must be embarrassing for a paladin to be seduced by a witch. Guards, Hazel says, I'm sorry. That kiss was just supposed to be my way of thanking you for your help. I have helped you anyway. Really? Do you help all the witches you interrogate then? Tori doesn't reply to Hazel's question. What could she say that would make it sound like she wasn't playing favorites? She couldn't let Hazel get an inflated ego over this, even if she was more than right than Tori would like to admit. Guards! Hazel lowers her voice to a whisper to avoid causing trouble for Tori. The last thing they need is the guards to overhear what she's saying. I know you like me too. I can feel it in my soul. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tori didn't answer. She simply left Hazel to the guards, who quickly dragged her back to the cage. Several days passed since Hazel told Tori what she knew about the remaining witches. What Tori didn't know is that the witches in front of her were already ready to move before she was captured, so the chances that Tori found them were very low. And Hazel knew it. And that's where we're going to end this mainstream tonight, or this one. So when we come back, we will continue on this path and see what other kind of trophies or mischiefs we can get into. But until then, everyone have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later tonight.